Alright boys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about how I made 2.1k in one day using Reddit. So this is a new model that we have, that we signed literally like over a week ago around. But literally one of the very first days was a 2.1k day. And it is mainly just from Reddit. We are also doing Twitter, but to be honest, not much traffic is coming from Twitter this time. So it is literally like 80 or 90% Reddit, I'd say. So I do have a lot of videos about Reddit, so I'm not gonna be talking about like exactly account warm up, um, like what proxies to use, stuff like that, because I've got a lot of videos already about that. So make sure to go check them if you're a complete beginner to Reddit. To make sure to go check them out. I'm gonna be sort of talking about how or like what I did exactly, like what methods I was using on Reddit to accomplish this. So um, obviously first of all, one of the key things to be able to actually scale with Reddit, whether you can repurpose content or not, is having a hardworking model. Because whether you repurpose content or not, like I put at the end here, is you do need a lot of good content. Obviously, you need a good looking model for it to perform well, and you need to be able to test out different niches and different content styles on Reddit. So whether you can repurpose content or not, if you have a lazy model that barely makes content, then you know you're not really gonna be able to figure things out fast and see like what niche or what content works good for her um in a short period of time. Luckily with this model, like I said, she's a high quality model. She's good looking. Her content's very high quality. She's got a good phone, good background, and she was making a lot every single day, right? So we were able to get a lot of content prepared within literally like the first 48 hours of signing her. So yeah, um, but first of all, organic method, pretty much these are the main method that works at the moment. It's where you just post 20 times a day on each account, no upvotes, nothing else. You just post, right? So we had like 10 accounts already warmed up, ready. So we used those 10 accounts and we literally started posting in 200 subreddits for her. So we already off like within the first like 40 hours, we already had a lot of traffic somewhat coming in from those 10 accounts. Obviously not all of them performed well. We were testing out different niches, so obviously not straight away it did the best, but we were getting traffic, um, and once we kind of figured out what niche works the best, we switched some of the other accounts around a little bit and just focused on doing that more. Um, and yeah, obviously one thing that I will say, like I said, I'm not gonna talk about everything in depth. I've got the videos, but one thing I will say about organic method is testing. Testing is the most important thing. Whether you have a good model or a bad model, you can get traffic from Reddit as long as you do everything else correctly. If you test out a lot, like, making sure the subreddits you post on are actually good for the model, make sure the content you use for the model is good. A lot of people, they'll pick like 20 subreddits to post and then they'll never change them. They'll just stick to them and never think about it again. And that's where a lot of people make that big mistake because you need to pick good subreddits to actually post in. I'm not saying you're gonna pick the best ones straight away. Like I said, it is about testing. You need to figure out which ones are good and are worth it. Um, Usually for us, if we don't get more than like 30 upvotes in each subreddit now, we will swap it out because it's just not really worth doing it if they only get like 10 upvotes, right? So yeah. Now next thing is suicide. So for suicide, I mean, in a way it's similar to organic method, but it's more about kind of spamming content more and not caring if the account gets banned, but just to get fast traffic. So what we do, whether it's a warmed up account or just like a brand new one with no requirement, like I'll speak about here in a sec, we will literally just buy up votes. We'll post like 10 times a day straight away. Um, we'll buy up votes, like usually 100 plus on each post. We try to do more, but we were just kind of testing at first. We did like 100. And we're just posting all these suicide accounts, just spam posting like 10 times a day, and then like the next day we'll do like 20, and then we'll just keep doing 20 until the account gets banned. Usually suicide accounts do get banned in the first like 24 hours, but The reason why we do 10 in the first 24 is because sometimes they do stay alive, and then we can increase it and have it going for a few more days. But that's literally it. It's a very simple method. Literally just post in subreddits and buy like 100 plus upvotes. Now this method isn't the best option if you have a low budget, because this method will cost you a bit of money, especially at scale. You will be spending like hundreds of dollars a day. So I wouldn't really recommend doing it if you don't have much money to your name. I'll recommend starting with organic method first. Now the third thing we did on top of these two is testing creating new accounts. So this is sort of something new that we're doing, which is why it's testing, but it did work. So yeah. But yeah, the first thing we did was testing creating new accounts and posting on no requirement subreddits with faster warm-up. So pretty much what we did is we would literally just create accounts. We would find like 20 subreddits with no requirements. We would literally do like a 5-day warm-up where we literally just comment, upvote, downvote a few times, and that's pretty much it. And then after like 5 to 7 days of warm-up, we just start posting like twice a day in these subreddits, and we'll increase it by 2 every day. So like we'll do 2 the first day, 4 the next day, 6 the 8th day, next day, 8th the next day, and until we're at 20. So once again, this is mainly for organic method as well, by the way. Like we don't really do suicide with this. We do have some accounts that like we create brand new for suicide. But yeah, so last thing, like I said earlier, is obviously scaling fast. Once we knew what content works well, so we don't have to rely on her all the time in case there's days where she's more busy or she's not available, whatever. We obviously were repurposing, so we kept having all these suicide accounts. We didn't have to slow down and wait for her. We just kept on repurposing every day using content flow. I've made a video about content flow literally a few days ago, so if you've not heard of it, you can check that video out. But yeah, that is pretty much it for Reddit. Overall, we just scaled very fast. We did a bunch of different methods. Obviously, organic is for like the long-term kind of accounts that we try to run for a while. Suicide for the fast results, get our subscribers quickly. And then obviously this is sort of like a new thing that we're doing now, but obviously gets traffic quite fast as well. And mixing all of these three at a big scale, we were getting a lot of subscribers obviously, and managed to make 2.1k in a day. Since the second, we have been doing like 1k a day, not 2k days, but I think once we scale it a bit more, we'll get back to like 2k days on average with this new model. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something new. Any questions, you guys can join my Telegram. DM me on Telegram if you want as well. I do have a private group too, which will be in the description. So yeah.